fatherofhollywood.com, along with truthwins.com, presents Dreamland New Beginnings, written by Dr. Galen Whitley Keith, narrated by Keith Whitley. Chapter 7, Philadelphia, 1885. The Ross estate still breathed with springtime freshness, the heavy trees clothed in new leaves, their canopies tangled with the white blossoms of dogwood and the fragrance of wild columbines. Along the dirt road that curved through the woods, Gigi Ross walked arm in arm with her sister Mary Scott. Gigi was but 18, with petite charms and golden locks that shimmered like sunlight as they spilled upon her shoulders. She bore the beauty of youth untouched by misfortune, though her soul was more pensive than most girls of her age. Beside her, Mary carried her years with composure, newly married, but never too distant to grasp her sister's hand. The two of them pressed quietly along the shaded road when a blossom fell gently from above, floating like a petal of snow until it touched the earth. Gigi stopped, eyes widening as she took in the woods about her. A carpet of bluebells swept into the distance, their delicate colors trembling in the late afternoon breeze. "I wish Mother were here," Gigi murmured softly. "It is so beautiful this time of year." Mary's hand closed firmly over hers, a small, sorrowful smile upon her lips. "I miss her too, darling." The sisters held hands in silence for a moment, letting their thoughts drift toward the woman who had guided them, and whose absence seemed sharper in the blossoms of spring. Mary squeezed to bring levity, as she often did. "Uncle Samuel says California is beautiful beyond telling. San Francisco, a true city, shining on the bay, but Los Angeles." She laughed. "Well, they say it is the wild, wild West. A place half savage, half glorious. Imagine us there, Gigi, walking streets where oranges fall into the gutters, and the Pacific waits for us to swim in its waves." Gigi turned, her blue eyes shining, though her words carried gravity. "When you return, Mary, I will come to Chicago to be with you. Uncle Samuel believes opportunity waits there too. He says the West is where the future will be built." Mary halted, her mouth trembling. She caught Gigi by both hands. "You will stay until we depart?" "Of course," Gigi replied with a softness. Then, with sudden firmness, she pressed her sister's fingers. "Do not be such a silly nilly. I shall be back with you before you know it." Her laughter lightened the woods for a moment, enough for both to smile away their heaviness. "Come," Mary whispered, her lip quivering with both affection and worry. "We must go back. It is nearly supper." At the table. That night, they gathered in Uncle Samuel Ross's dining room, its dark wood walls grand but softened by candlelight, reflecting in tall gilt mirrors. Samuel was a somber man of firm lines, his black beard and mustache making his lean frame taller than it was. Over platters steaming upon the sideboard, he regarded his nieces with the manner of one both guardian and judge. "I am glad you are both here," he said, depressingly without smile. "Mary, since you married Paul, we see so little of you." "You could come to Chicago," Mary offered, her tone lighter. "Visit us while we are there." Samuel's face darkened, shadow across the hollow of his cheeks. "Chicago?" He paused, swallowing memories. His voice grew low, clipped. "I have not walked its streets since the Great Fire of 1871. That night, his eyes clouded. Death was everywhere, the breath of flame upon every street. I swore I would never return." Silence lingered. Then he shook the weight from his shoulders and sighed. Turning to Gigi, his expression softened. "But when I escort you west, child, I shall leave you with Mary after." He patted her hand. "Yes, Chicago may claim you, though it has no hold on me." Charlotte, the young housekeeper, entered with cobbler fresh from the oven, peach scent heavy in the candlelight. When she offered cream upon the side, both sisters nodded, their laughter restored for a time as the sweet warmth filled their mouths. Later that night, when shadows climbed the walls and sleep filled the house, Gigi's peace broke. The dream. She found herself in the vast Union Station of Los Angeles, a place of glass and steel where echoing voices rose above the din of engines. She walked with Uncle Samuel, their steps brisk toward a waiting train. Suddenly, two figures emerged. Frank Thompson, thin and wiry, his face strained with cruelty, and Joe Preston, rough, dangerous eyes glinting under a brim. Their smirks twisted into menace as they approached. Joe drew from his pocket a small derringer, Frank his knife, steel glinting against the gaslight. Gigi screamed, clutching her uncle's coat. Samuel stepped before her like a shield. But before the strike, a third figure strode into view, tall, commanding, with mustache and eyes that could slow a crowd with their gravity. H.J. Whitley. In the dream, the strange man met violence unflinching. The shot rang, and she woke in the dark. Ah! Gigi's scream cut through the night. She bolted upright in her bed, breath uneven, hair clinging to her temples. At once, Samuel appeared in the doorway, lantern raised, face drawn and pale. "Are you all right? I heard you." "Just a dream," she panted, hand clutching at the covers. Mary came quickly behind. "Sister, what has frightened you so?" She climbed onto the bed, holding her close until Samuel retreated. When they were alone, Gigi whispered, still shaken, "It was a nightmare, but so real I could almost smell the smoke of the trains." Mary searched her eyes. "Tell me?" Gigi hesitated, voice trembling. "There were men with knives and pistols. They went for Uncle. And another man came forward. I do not know him, yet I feel I must. He matters." She turned, her eyes growing wide. "Mary, I know this will happen, and I feel I must be there. Someone's very life depends upon it." Mary shook her head quickly. "You are frightened, darling. You should refuse this trip." "No!" The word was firm, burning in Gigi's chest. "I am still going west. It calls to me, I think. I must meet the man." Her sister could only gaze at her, troubled by the conviction in Gigi's voice. The departure. The next morning, smoke coiled from the grand iron stacks of Philadelphia's train station. Engines hissed in their bays, great wheels groaned against metal, crowds pressed the platform, trunks stacked, farewells clung to 1,000 voices. "Gigi!" Mary caught her sister tightly in her arms, tears trembled in her lashes. "Do not forget me in California." "Never," Gigi whispered, kissing her cheek. Samuel stood tall beside the conductor, stern as always, his hand ready to guide his niece aboard. "All aboard," the conductor called, his voice carrying across the platform. The sisters broke their embrace. Gigi stepped toward the train, skirts brushing the wood planks as she paused once more to wave. Samuel urged her forward. She glanced back, one last look, one last wave, before taking her place on the steps. As the train hissed and lurched forward, Mary's figure grew smaller, her hand raised until the smoke swallowed her from view. Gigi turned into the carriage, her heart racing with both fear and something deeper, an unexplainable certainty that her path was guiding her westward, toward danger, toward destiny, toward Hobart Johnstone Whitley, though she knew not his name. The whistle shrieked. Steel wheels carried her life away from childhood into the vast horizon of the American West. Come back next Wednesday to hear the next chapter of Dreamland New Beginnings, written by Dr. Galen Whitley Keith, narrated by Keith Whitley.